Sunset Boulevard.
Yeah.
Sunset Boulevard.
Yeah.
Okay, let me get some questions from all of you. Yes, right here. Hold on, we have some microphones, so wait for the microphone reaches you. Thank you.
Hello. First off, thank you for an amazing film experience. I would call it a Southern classic, and I just wanted to ask specifically, what all went into, since you said that one of the major changes you made to the original text was the creation of the Anita character. Was it early on, were you thinking Macy, or was this just sort of as the part developed? Because I think it's just absolutely amazing, and her work in your film Shadowboxer, like the first time I saw it, I was like, Macy Gray is a cinematic treasure. I was just very interested as to how that developed, and also Miss Kidman, phenomenal work.
I offered it to Oprah because she had just produced my Precious with me, and so we were looking for something to do. And I offered it to Oprah, and she said, absolutely not. I said, you have to do this, Oprah. And so she said no. And so I think the universe took care of me because I can't imagine Oprah on the bed masturbating. I think that as you tell the story, you see, for me, I had seen the help, and I have so many relatives, aunts, neighbors, cousins, grandmother that were actually helped. And I felt that that wasn't indicative of what it was that I experienced as a kid growing up. And Macy was that. I can't direct something if I don't know it, if I haven't lived it, if I hadn't touched it or seen it firsthand. And so she was representative of all of the help that I knew growing up. And when she says and where we go to with Grace, that with Macy, when Zach calls David the N-word, and for me, Macy wasn't upset with Zach at all. She was more concerned about his well-being, because she says, you use that against somebody, will cut your little ass over that. She loves him unconditionally. That's her son. It pierces straight through race, and those are the maids that I knew, and they were fun, and they were loving, and loved the people that they worked for unconditionally. So, yeah.
Yes, I do. Wait.
Yeah, the mic.
Richard, I just want to say it's a hard act to follow, and you've done a great 25 years. Nicole, when Zach shows up in the swamp and says, I can't believe Charlotte's living here, I don't think we can believe it either. It's such a surprise she ended up in this place with this guy. How did you find her? I mean, is she crazy? Do you see her as, where's her center, for you?
I don't see it as crazy because I see very few people as crazy. So I see her. For me, playing it, it's a woman who's obviously, very damaged and is terrified of intimacy, of being close to someone, which is the common thread a lot of times with the relationships with people in prison, because they're in prison, and as soon as they get out, it's a whole different thing. And that was something that was very, very interesting to me, even in those 5 women that I met with. And I suppose, for me, the way in which she deals with the Zach character is, she knows he's kind of, following her around like a puppy dog, but at the same time, she's not going to ruin his life, because if she lets him really fall in love with her, if she lets herself sort of in some way give in to him and softens towards him, then she's going to ruin his life forever. Because as she says to him, and it was a line that we ad-libbed, was, you don't want me. trust me, and it's that whole thing of not thinking of, that to me is unconditional love. She really shows him love that way. And her destiny, she feels, is that kind of life that she has with the Cusack character, because that's kind of where she's heading. It's almost like a death wish in a way. And for me, that's tragic. You know, it's very sad, and that's where I came from, and with her. And so I have a lot of compassion for her. And when I was playing it, the reason I wouldn't step in and out of the accent or the character was because if I did, I would feel that I was going to judge her or something. And if I just stayed in it, then I was very much, I felt incredibly free to follow all the different sort of, instincts and stuff that were there, which is how Lee works. He really, you come on the set and you don't just, it's not all blocked out, which is, other directors are very, very particular about blocking. It's already done and storyboarded. And Lee's like, show it to me. And then goes, no, it's not working. Let's change it. And you go, and the first scene we shot was the scene at the very end of the movie with Cusack when he comes to the apartment. And it's, with the washing machine and all that sort of stuff. And we had very limited time because we were in a tight budget. And it was just like, we have to get this stuff in somehow in images. And we kind of went for it. And I didn't know John, and that's when I just went, I'm actually never going to know John. I'm just going to deal with him as the character, and he can just deal with me as the character. And that was it was a great way. I mean, I never spoke to him through the shoot as John. At the very end of the film, he came to my trailer and said, hi, I'm John. That was great.
Let's see. Yes, right here.
The costumes are fantastic. I don't think there exists a swamp Barbie, but you created one. Could you talk
I like that. I'll take it.
Swamp Barbie. Could you talk a little bit about how these 60s, 70s Barbie costumes help you create the character?
Well, once again, limitations are a great thing. There was no budget for the wardrobe, so with that comes you're going and looking in all these kind of op shops and vintage store, anywhere that you can get things for $5, so that everything was so authentic. And the costume designer it was fantastic, because I walked in there and there were those white shoes, and Lee has a thing about shoes, and he was like, gotta have the right shoes. So I'm like, oh, okay, I'm gonna get those shoes. And they were the white shoes that were all, as soon as we scuffed them up, I was like, this is it, these are the perfect shoes. And then she just sort of started trying stuff on me, and it was just everything she put on me worked, and we just would Polaroid it and show it to Lee, and he'd go, yeah, which is rare. But it's great, because when you don't have any money in the costume department, you have to ferret around and find these things that other people would be sewing and making and trying to dye, and these things are just real from that time period and found in stores down in New Orleans. Perfect.
What were the folks in the community like while you were shooting?
Well, which community? The swamp?
The swamp.
Gators.
We saw several Confederate flags. So it was a little scary. It was a little scary. For me, it was scary. And I oftentimes had to get my AD to talk to locations, because they wouldn't talk to me. It was interesting. It put me into a place of being able to direct the piece.
Okay, yes, right over here. So we have a light coming your way.